What up, what up, what up, everybody? It is me, Lauren Powers, back for another episode of Power Moves Health Marketing Podcast. So we've got an interesting one today. This message today, this conversation today, even though it's a conversation with myself, solo today, hopefully you guys will talk back to me. The message for today, I want this to be loud and clear for anybody who is starting an online health business where you're going to be generating revenue from online engagements with people rather than them seeing you in person at a store or at a clinic or anything like that. And I know that this one is going to strike a nerve with a few folks. So save it, earmark it, flag it, or whatever, and send it to people that would fit in this profile. Because, like, for real, I've worked with probably at this point thousands of practitioners, clinic owners, health entrepreneurs, and like, I want this episode to be what you need to hear before you ever build a sales page, a quiz funnel, launch your signature program, hire a coach like me. And I don't care if you're a concierge, naturopath, a coach yourself, a dentist. But if you've never run an online business before, then I want you to listen to this first, okay? So let me take a little sip of water. That was good. You are not starting a program or a course, all right? I want y'all to listen. I don't care if you're a physician who's going, from conventional into like health coaching in the more alternative space. I don't care if you have, 4-month programs to help people with their gut health and all the different things. It is a business that you're starting, and you need to give it the respect of that. Not an income stream, but the respect of an actual business that needs to be branded, that needs an actual marketing strategy, that needs an actual budget. I have so many practitioners that I work with that because they are so smart and, they're so skilled and they're so sought after, that they believe that that will be the reason that they can build their genius program, and then people will just automatically come to it and find it. And that's just not how this works. So it's a company, and I want you to start thinking about that. Like, this is not passive income we're talking about. We're talking about the infrastructure of a real online digital marketing company. This is not anything to set and forget. And most importantly, the real effort, surprisingly, isn't necessarily in the makeup of the program or the thing that you're selling online. It really is in the makeup of how capable you are to market it. How good are you at getting people drawn into your story and to your message? All right. And so the next thing that I want you to start thinking about is that, sure enough, you're a clinician, you're a practitioner, you're a healer, you're a coach. But the reality of it is that the moment that you put your toe in this pond of entrepreneurship to where you say, you know what, I want to make money because people see my Instagram reels or my YouTube and they find their way to my website, that means that you're a marketer now. You're a marketer first before you're actually a clinician. You're a marketer first before you're actually a clinician. You're spending more time at this point perfecting your messaging, your visuals, your brand, how you show up, than you are actually working on your program because you're already good at this, right? So that shouldn't take up all of your time. I think sometimes practitioners hide behind the construction of the program because they're too afraid to step out there and really, really market themselves. Why is that? Whether you like it or not, you're a marketer. If you're selling a course, you're a marketer. If you have a program, you're a marketer. If you do Zoom calls to meet with your people, you're a marketer. Hell, if you have a brick and mortar, but we're not talking about that on this particular, we're talking only about online, but you're a marketer. It doesn't mean that you have to dance on TikTok, but you do need to have a system for visibility, whether that be through referrals, through warm traffic, through people that are, referring directly to you, people that find you online, people that opt into your email list. But I need you to kind of sit with this for a moment. Don't get caught up in making the program. Get caught up in the message of how you're going to get people attracted to you. Yeah? I want you to think that this is, and I also want you to know that you're going to feel exposed, practitioner. It's going to be uncomfortable. Why is this going to be uncomfortable? Because most of you all haven't had to do this. For some of my clients, insurance has always dictated, how much they're worth, right? For many, maybe they were working in a setting where it was just a patient factory and people were just feeding you referrals and stuff. You didn't have to do anything. This is forcing you to step outside of your comfort zone to be seen as that expert, that thought leader, and to become the product. You are the product that you're selling. That means you look the part, you walk you look the part, you walk that part, you talk the talk. You haven't had to sell yourself before because you're used to referrals and insurance and word of mouth, but the online world is just different. So you need to stretch yourself so you can feel comfortable showing up at networking events. You can be excited about the reels and the YouTube long form copy that you have to make. You can feel good about putting yourself out there to be on other people's podcasts or creating the budget to run ads. But I want you to stay in the zone, stay on mission. There's so many ways to grow an online health business. What if it's webinars? Well, guess what? Your first webinar may be a flop. We talked about this in another episode about how masterclasses and things, because you weren't taught to be the salesperson. You were taught to be the clinician and the healer, not the person that, knows how to convince people through storytelling on how to sign up for their products and services and get their life changed. And what no one tells you is that it may be hard. Yeah, your first webinar may be a flop. Yeah, your friends may not understand. Yes, this may take a little bit longer than you want to. Okay? But it's also the most freeing and the most powerful thing you'll ever build when you build your strategy with heart and with passion and with purpose, where you're not just grabbing some strategy off the shelf or something that you've heard at a conference, but you are really thinking and positioning, how can I show up online? And you all need multiple lead sources. You can go back to one of my earlier episodes where I'm talking about how everyone should have 7, 8, 9 lead sources. But y'all think about this first. Are you on Nextdoor? Google My Business. Is your website optimized? Do you have a lead magnet where people can actually find the lead magnet? Okay. Are you hidden somewhere? Are you findable? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on YouTube? Are you podcasting? Are you at networking events? Are you making events on Eventbrite? Are you on the Nextdoor? I could keep going on and on and on about this, but that's the engine that you need to create when you're in the online space. And I've said this before, individuals, especially for health conditions, are consuming information at an alarming rate, at like 20 or 30, if not 400 times higher than we were pre-COVID. So you need to arm yourself with the tools and the strategy to be successful that goes well beyond the idea that you created. So let's keep this in mind. Yes, you're going to need a team. You are going to need the tech. I could say, yeah, I want you to learn how to use Teachable and Kajabi and Thinkific and all these tools and go high level, but you're not going to know what to do with it unless you just have the tech brain for it. You sure need to know the fundamentals of it, but then I need you to start thinking about outsourcing, right? This is what we don't think about before we open businesses. That's why I say it goes well beyond the program. Who are the team and the tech and the tools that's going to get me where I need to go? Right? We teach all about this in Mindshare and Health Business Growth Collective and a couple of other places where I love to play and mentor and coach. But, I find that this piece is reportedly the big gap. Yes, for sure, you need a tech stack, not just software. It's email marketing. I'm working with one of my clients right now. Her focus is working with first responders. And we started working together about a month ago, and she has just been the best, most coachable, brilliant individual who has this awesome program to help women, that are first responders. And what she was just like an open book. She's like, Lauren, listen, I know I'm good at what I do and can provide that transformation, but I have no idea how to get people to find me. And she's done everything I've asked her to do. Yes, she's hired the web developer to make her landing pages well optimized. And I worked with her on the copy. Yes, we're working on getting her a virtual assistant to help with some of these cold outreaches that we're doing on LinkedIn. Yes, she made that newsletter for LinkedIn so she can start to build her email list. Yes, she's going to put herself out there. As she's growing her list on LinkedIn, she's going to invite them to an intimate workshop, limited to only 10 women that really want to unpack some of their trauma in an intimate group environment. We're doing all of this, y'all, and it only took 2 months. Because once the engine is started, that's our job to keep feeding the machine and keep pumping the beast and keep finding out where our sweet spot is, what we like, what our audience responds to. And yes, she set up a CRM with email automations and things so we could actually stay on track for what good marketing looks like in terms of, staying in front of our ideal audience. So y'all, if you are a practitioner that's turned online marketer, if you're unwilling to market, that means that you're not ready to do your thing. If you're still trying to figure out how to find time, that means that you really don't want it bad enough. If you're satisfied because you're still moonlighting, at the other places that you're working, and you're satisfied with still moonlighting while trying to do your online business, that means that you're not all in on this particular vision, and that's okay. It just means that maybe we need to retool the vision and retool, where you're trying to go with this thing that aligns with the level of effort that you're willing to give. You need to be marketing every single fucking day. If you have an online business, that means that you are relentless, that this is part of your job when you clock in, is that you are doing what's necessary to put yourself out there so that the people that need to find you can. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be visible. And I want you to consider when you're a marketer, it's not you bragging, it's you being a leader. It's you being accessible so people can find you in the places where they play. And some of this is online presence. Some of this is even, connecting and networking with your referrals and things like that, right? So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I have a whole marketing assessment and playbook that you can fill out. You can just go to the show notes, grab it, okay? And I want you to start to fill it out because maybe we need to just not start. I'm not saying throw away your passion and your mission and your idea. No. So don't walk away with that. What I'm saying is sharpen your axe and become the marketer that you need to be before you start. While you're in idea creation and formulation, get with some people, follow my show, get in the right communities and networks and things so you can create the plan to market. I'm going to keep talking about this over the next few weeks and getting more specific on the tools that you need. And then also you can look at some of my other episodes. But this one just struck me today. I came with a little bit of drama today because it struck me today that I have so many visionary practitioners and visionary leaders, but we're missing this piece. And I don't want you to be upset and frustrated or feel like people don't want what you got. I don't want you to feel that way. Instead, I want you to put the proper time and energy into it and know that if it's beyond your scope, just like when I go to the doctor, and if my doctor can't figure it out, they may send me to a specialist. It's the same thing. That's how you have to treat you and your business. If you can't figure it out, don't waste time. There's too many people that need your help. Find the right coach or person or platform or course or what you need, whatever it is that you need to do so you can bridge that gap and start promoting your business with confidence and with excitement that your right person is going to find you. All right. So y'all head on over to the show notes, share this with someone that have some ideas ruminating and they may not have all the pieces because they need to know what needs to happen if they want this business to get popping. All right. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast everywhere the podcasts are available. Follow me on YouTube and Instagram at I Am Lauren Powers and the Power Moves Health Marketing Podcast, y'all. It's always a blessing to be in your presence. Can't wait to see you next week. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in to Power Moves Health Marketing Podcast. If you're ready to transform your practice with smarter strategies and cutting-edge tools, I want you to head over to microsite.com to book a strategy session with me and my team. While you're there, check out the show notes for links, resources, and my free Power Moves playbook. Remember, every move you make is a step toward becoming the health business leader you're meant to be. Let's keep building your momentum.